p.m. Item number 5, Pledge of Allegiance. Ms. Key, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Item 6, roll call. Roll call will reflect that all board members and cabinet are present. Moving on to item number 7, approval of minutes. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of September 6, 2022?
Porras.
Is there a second?
Second, Tricia Pierce.
It has been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of September 6, 2022. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, calls for the question. Preferential vote.
Aye.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? This motion carries with one preferential vote. Moving on to item number 8, board meeting addenda. Superintendent Dr. May Vollmer, is there any addenda to tonight's agenda?
No, there is not.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 9, approval of agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda of the regular meeting of September 20th, 2022? Is there a second?
Second, Tricia Pierce.
It has been moved and seconded to approve tonight's agenda. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, calls for the question. Preferential vote.
Aye.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? This motion carries with one preferential vote. Moving on to item number 10, community staff student recognition. Superintendent Dr. May Vollmer.
Thank you very much. I'm going to ask our Public Information Officer, Mary Perry, to please come up to the podium, and she'll be conducting this part of the meeting.
Good evening. Thank you so much. I'm going to start with congratulations to the 2021-2022 Shadow Hills cheer team. So if we could go ahead and invite them to come in. So I'd like you to join me in welcoming Peter Daniels from Riverside County Office of Education. He's the Director of Community Engagement and Partnerships and a very dear friend of mine. So Peter is here to recognize these amazing students, and the students who are being recognized are Malia Boomer, Mackenzie Carlos, Ariadna Carrioza, Rachel Castro, Maylee Danell, Daniela Garcia, Emily Hoy, Lauren Hoy, Jocelyn Maldonado, Jasmine or Yasmin, I'm not sure, Nahara Dominguez, Capri Navarro, Lillian Norton, Isabella Nunez, Trinity Sepulveda, Natalie Tahirnia, I'm sure I said that really bad, Lizette Vergen, is it Vergen, Lizette? Yeah. Coaches Mindy Aldrich, Courtney Aziano, Luis Vargas, and Athletic Director Mike Walsh. And Peter, do you want to explain why we're honoring them tonight?
So I'm so happy to present this recognition to our student athletes because every sports season, so this was for spring season last year. I apologize that we're a little late getting this out, but your cheer team from Shadow Hills Knights had the highest GPA in the entire county for cheer, 3.97. So the average GPA for this team was 3.97, and you don't see all 17 members there, but when you have 17 individuals, that's a pretty darn good average. So congratulations to them.
That's great.
Thank you. I'm going to ask my staff photographer, Principal Herrera, to take some pictures for me. Congratulations. Mandy, you want to go ahead and have them come in? Okay, perfect. Yay. So several of our schools have been recognized recently by the California PBIS Coalition. And the awards reflect excellence in the implementation of the core features of PBIS. PBIS stands for Positive Behavioral Interventions. And the schools complete an application that reflect the school's success in social, emotional, and academic interventions and supports. And the schools have used data to make their decisions and solve problems and teach and encourage pro-social skills and behaviors. So our schools are filing in. Yay. And I'm going to turn the microphone over to our Director of Professional Development and Teacher Support, Elizabeth Hartman, and PBIS Coordinator Mandy Wiltrout, and they're going to tell you more about the awards and the award-winning schools. And also Courtney. I don't want to forget Courtney. So, okay, anyway, here they go.
So we have a lot of folks here, so we're going to give them a time to get situated, so we get every school the announcement and the recognition that they deserve. So hello, everyone. My name is Lizzie Hartman, and I'm the Director of Professional Development and Teacher Support, and I'm so honored to be able to recognize these amazing schools because I know from being a former site principal how much hard work in this process to receive this type of recognition. So I'm very thankful that they all came so they could get the proper recognition. So thank you so much. Before I start, and I know thank you, Mary, for giving a shout out here, I want to give a shout out to Courtney and Mandy and Mike over here too. They really did a lot of the heavy work around PBIS, which started about 6 years ago. I think we're in that process now. And the work not only for getting these schools prepared for this, but they also helped with them becoming designated through the TFI walks that they did. And so I want to give a big shout out to them and thank them for all of their work. So they're going to help me get up here and recognize everyone as well. So thank you. So a little bit about the award that these schools are going to be receiving. So the Positive Behavioral Intervention Support, PBIS, is an ongoing focus within Desert Sands schools as we work to systematically enhance our school climate and culture, both by improving behavioral and academic outcomes for kids. The California PBIS Coalition recognizes system acknowledges schools for implementing PBIS with fidelity to the national framework. 9 schools in Desert Sands applied for various awards, and all of them received recognition. Your dedication and commitment to the students, families, and communities of your respective schools is a major contributing factor to the excellence in education at Desert Sands. So big thank you to our school sites. So how this process looked, they completed an in-depth evidence-based application process, and they had to have site validations through site visits to verify their fidelity of using the implementation across their school system. The acknowledgement system reflects excellence in implementation of the core features of PBIS. In addition to these schools being recognized on the California PBS Coalition website and posted in the 7th Annual California PBS Conference in Sacramento in October, we wanted to take tonight to highlight these schools so that you can see them and see a lot of the players are involved in the hard work. And so I've asked the schools that are here, the principals, to also bring team members that were intricate in this process as well. So we are going to begin by having our 2 gold schools, and I'll call them up here one at a time so you can see them and they can wave. Come up, give a little wave, take some pictures, and then grab a seat. We are also giving them posters. We did little stickers for them, some balloon visits, just to celebrate them at their staff meetings, as well as some opportunities for them to print some banners to hang up in their school. So pretty big deal having been through it, and I'm so excited to share this award with these amazing educators. So our 2 gold schools, our first gold school is Amelia Earhart with Ann Morales. So with Ann today, we have Principal Ann Morales, we have Michelle Sherlin, Mina Thurcrawl, and Veronica Hernandez, so part of the intricate team. So a big round of applause for Amelia Earhart. Awesome. All right, if you guys want to stay up, we'll keep the gold schools up here. So gold, and trust me, having been through it's a serious, you have to have a 90, Courtney, Manny, 90, what's the percent fidelity you have to have on the site visit?
You have to have 70% or greater for tier 1 and or tier 2, like tier 2 and or tier 3. So they have to be greater than 70% fidelity in both tier 1 and one of the other tiers as well.
So that means awesome tier 1, but also providing those supports at the tier 2 level. So that's amazing recognition. So Earhart, congratulations on your gold. Hang there for a second, we'll get a picture of our gold. And our last gold school, which is near and dear to my heart, led by Principal Marcy Herrera, is Indio Middle School. So Indio Middle School.
And Lizzie Hartman, because she did the work last year.
Tier 1. So our silver schools that we're going to recognize now, huge feat as well to have 70% on their fidelity for the tier 1. And our first silver school that we'll bring forward is Johnson Elementary under the direction of Mr. Brad Fisher. Come on, Mr. Fisher. With Mr. Fisher today, we have Lexi Zarkovich. So I hope I said that right. Zanovich right there, Zanovich. So thank you so much. Next silver school we have is Thomas Jefferson Middle School under the direction of Miss Catherine Burling. And with Principal Catherine Burling, we have Mark Balsamo. So Thomas Jefferson Middle School, a silver PBIS award. Congratulations. Next, under the leadership of Dr. Daniel Martinez, we have Roosevelt Elementary School. And with Dr. Martinez, we have Jacqueline Alvarado. Welcome. Next, supporting Indio High School because of the work she did massively with Indio High School, Miss Marcy Herrera is going to represent Indio High School. For Monroe Elementary School, we have Principal Christy Joyner. Is it not good? Take a picture of it. Oh, Mandy and Courtney are going to get in the picture for Monroe. Wonderful. Lots of schools being recognized. Two more. We have Andrew Jackson Elementary School with Dr. Jose Montano coming forward. And with him, he has Miss Anna Morales, Miss Neredia Becerra, and Miss Diane Tijarena. I hope I said that closer, but we worked on it. Congratulations, Jackson. And finally, our last silver award goes to Desert Ridge Academy under the leadership of Erasmo Garcia. So DRA, come on up. And with Principal Garcia, we have Meredith Greenwood. So again, I want to thank all the schools, thank the team. It has been a venture, but it's been something very worthwhile. And like I mentioned before, the application process is no joke. So I'm very honored and proud, and I want to thank the school board, the district for supporting this work, because it is so powerful, the impacts it's having for kids, especially around climate and culture. So thank you guys so much. I will turn it back over to Mary.
And before you all leave, I'm going to come out to the hallway and take a photo of all of you on the stairs, okay? Don't leave. Jose, control your people. Was that it? It was just Jackson that vacated the room? Oh, no, and Monroe. Okay. The next recognition is for Summit High School. So woohoo! Olivia, was that you? So we're so proud of Summit High School for receiving the Friday Night Chapter of the Year Award for 2021-2022. And this award represents the best chapter in Riverside County. So Mr. Perry Myers, the SAP counselor, come on up, Perry. So in case you don't know, Perry is joined by Principal Jose Ramirez. You can stand right there in the middle if you are. You can stand here with me, wherever you guys want. Okay. So Perry led his students throughout the school year. He collected more blankets during the winter season than any other group in the entire Riverside County. And according to the website, Friday Night Live, FNL, builds partnerships for positive and healthy youth developments which engage youth as active leaders and resources in their communities. The partnerships are with adults who provide guidance, peers who provide support, and community organizations that value youth and give them a role to play in making an impact within our community. And in this arena, young people are recognized as leaders, and they have the ability to be a positive force for change. FNL wants young people in the program to be problem-free and fully prepared. And through active participation, youth have the opportunity to build skills to utilize in the future while developing healthy living and decision-making skills. So way to go, Summit High. Would you gentlemen like to say a few words? Okay, now I have to be the photographer. Wait a minute. Come on, Perry. Come up here, and then I'll just take.
Well, good afternoon. Just wanted to mention, Summit High School is most known for its ability to help students recover credits so they can graduate on time. However, that is mainly done by the relationships, our staff, which some of them are here today, Mr. Hollenbeck, Mr. Estep, Dr. Strange, Mr. Myers. That is done by the ability of our staff to build strong relationships with our kids. And a few years ago, we took on this challenge and we challenged our students to leadership opportunities, advocacy, and being part of the community. So it's great to see that a lot of that has paid off, and we're looking forward to many more opportunities to engage with our students in our community. So thank you guys for the support.
I would just like to add that this award goes to the students, and staff members are primarily responsible for, motivating the students and getting them involved. Olivia is a member of Friday Night Live, and it bridges the gap between school partnerships and community partnerships, and it's been a huge asset to Summit High School, and the staff is the driving force behind it all. So that's it.
This last recognition might make me cry, so if you can put up with me for a little bit. On Thursday, September 1st, 2022, DSUSD campus security agents Jared Grant and Jaime Bautista were assigned to Indio High School, and they were dispatched to what at first appeared to be a student panic attack. A student experienced a seizure, 911 was called, an ambulance was on the way when the student lost consciousness. Agent Grant immediately began CPR, and the student regained consciousness. Paramedics arrived on the scene and transported the student to JFK Hospital. She was later released and is doing great. The Indio High School staff and students and the entire Desert Sands Unified School District family wish to recognize the efforts of Agents Jared Grant. Stand, please. And Jaime Bautista. for their quick response. For their quick response to a critical situation. Agent Batista, thank you for your control of a situation that could have gone south. We really appreciate it. We really appreciate you. And I know that your boss is here somewhere. There he is taking video. So there's Chief Nakua, and your former boss, then Assistant Principal Marcy Herrera, is also taking pictures. Agent Grant. You're being recognized for your life-saving response. I know that the student and the family will forever hold you in their debt. Please join me in thanking Desert Sands Unified School District security agents Jaime Batista and Jared Grant. So proud of you. You know, I'm part of the the emergency response team when need be, so I consider these guys part of my team as well, and I'm so proud of both of you. I can't think of a better way to end my portion of tonight's meeting, so thank you very much.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 11, introduction of new or recently promoted employees. Superintendent Dr. May Vollmer.
Yes, I will turn it over to Dr. Hyde.
All right, good evening, everyone. I'm very excited to announce several new managers to their appointments. And I'd like to just encourage each person as you come up to the dais. And first off is Vanessa Aguilar, who is a new mental health therapist. Vanessa, come on up. So just to share a little bit of information about Vanessa, she earned her master's degree in psychology with an emphasis in marriage and family therapy from Brandman University. She's worked at Safe House of the Desert, interacting with youth in crisis, Riverside University Health Systems in the Youth Hospitalization Intervention Program, and most recently with the Riverside Latino Commission. She and her husband, Eddie, love to travel and spend time with their children. So again, welcome, Vanessa. Would you like to say a few words and maybe introduce if you have any guests?
Yes, thank you. I didn't bring anybody here today, but I want to thank my family. I'd love to thank the board. I especially want to thank Laura, who is, oversees our program, Larry, Tamara, Sochi, Stephanie, and Blanca for creating this, or assisting us in getting this program with the Medi-Cal shared contract implemented in this school district. As you guys know, there is a shortage in mental health, and we are in need. And by bringing this program into the district, you are eliminating barriers and you are creating safe and healthy families. It is a program that can be long-term, sustainable, and just a benefit to our families. And we have expanded this year, so we are already beginning to see the benefits and these families coming to us within days of getting the referral. So we're really excited to be part of this program. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, next I'm excited to introduce Catherine Carranza, mental health therapist. Catherine, please come up to the dais. All right, maybe Catherine couldn't make it today. I'll just say a couple of brief words about Catherine. She earned her bachelor's degree in general social ecology from the University of California at Irvine. She went on to earn her master's degree in social work from San Diego State University. She is a native of the Coachella Valley and has over 20 years of experience providing mental health services to children, families, and the community members in educational settings and nonprofit mental health agencies. Welcome, Catherine. All right, next, I would love to introduce Laura Garcia Echeverria. She is also a new mental health therapist. Step on up and welcome, Laura. So Laura earned her bachelor's degree in science and family and consumer sciences, emphasis in family studies from Cal State Northridge, her master's of arts in psychology with an emphasis in marriage and family therapy from Chapman University. Early in her career, she began working as an early intervention specialist, providing home-based support in early childhood development. This led her to pursue a master's degree in psychology. Since then, she has worked in community health, mental health, private practice, and school-based settings. Laura brings reading dystopian novels in her spare time. She enjoys reading them, hiking, cooking, and spending time with her 3 sons, husband, and extended family. Welcome, Laura. Please say a few words.
Thank you. I'd just like to say thank you to the board and the district for giving me this opportunity to provide mental health services to our students. My school sites are Summit High School, Amistad, and the Atlas program at the Eisenhower campus. And I'm just excited. You know, I hit the ground running with a lot of cases already. So I'm excited to be a part of the team. Everybody has been great, and I'm really looking forward to continue to provide services to our community and our students. Thank you.
I'd like to introduce Carrie Geis, psychologist. So, all right. We do actually confirm these invitations, believe it or not. So I'll be quick. Carrie earned her master's degree in school psychology and a people personnel services credential from the University of La Verne, where her studies also focused on multiculturalism and student diversity in the educational system. She is married and has 3 children, ages 12, 3, and 2. She's excited to have the opportunity to rejoin Desert Sands and looks forward to supporting students, their families, staff members, and the community. All right, next, but certainly not least, I'd like to introduce Gabriel Gutierrez, the new assistant principal of Indio High School. Step on up, Gabriel. So Gabriel earned his Bachelor's of Arts degree in creative writing from the University of California at Riverside. He's been a social studies teacher here at Desert Sands for the last 16 years, most recently at Indio High School. He has met his literary idol, Anne Rice, and his pop idol, Janet Jackson. Gabriel enjoys traveling to Disney parks and would like to acknowledge his partner, Raul, his brother, James, and his mother, Eve, and his 2 cats this evening. Welcome, Gabriel. Please say a few words.
Thank you, Cabinet. Thank you, Board. It's been a great 16-year adventure so far, having worked with so many people, even in this room. Thank you to all. I look forward to the next few years. Thank you.
Welcome. Next, I'd like to introduce Greg O'Mara, the new assistant principal at La Quinta High School. Greg earned his Bachelor's of Arts from the California State University at Fullerton, his teaching credential from the University of La Verne, and a special education credential from the University of California, Riverside. He also earned his master's degree in educational administration from Lewis and Clark Colleges, his Alba dissertation and doctoral work from the University of Portland. He has taught English, math, social studies, health, and special education, and has over 20 years of experience, including 10 years as a high school principal. Greg loves to golf and hike and is very proud that 4 years ago he committed to taking care of his health and lost over 115 pounds and has kept the weight off with daily exercise. He and his wife, Colleen, who is also a teacher, who teaches 5th grade at Johnson Elementary, have 2 children, Kevin and Kate, who are in their junior and sophomore years at the University of Oregon. Welcome, Greg. Please say a few words.
Well, thank you, Dr. Hyde. I do want to recognize my wife, who's a 5th grade teacher, like you said, at Johnson. We're very excited to be part of the Desert Sands School District. I want to thank all of you for leaning in and listening and answering my emails and questions. And I really want to point out, during the week of homecoming, with no indication that they were going to be here, my colleagues, my assistant principals that I team with every day showed up to support me, and that just means a great deal to me. I want to thank each and every one of them because they could have been home, resting for the parade, resting for the football game, resting for the dance, doing anything but coming to a board meeting and supporting me. So I want to thank you all, and I look forward to a great year.
Pleased to introduce Jesse Ruiz, Assistant Principal, Indio High School. Step up, Jesse. So Jesse earned her Master's of Arts degree from the University of California at Davis, and both her Master's of Arts in English as a second language and Reading and Language Arts from the University of California at San Bernardino. She has been in education for 27 years as a teacher, project facilitator, and instructional coach. She has won many awards over the years for her dedication to education. She loves walking, reading, and watching home improvement shows. Fun fact, Jessie attended Van Buren Elementary, Wilson Middle School, and Indio High School.
Yes.
Jessie, welcome. Please introduce any guests and say a few words.
Well, I want to thank you all for the opportunity. God, I'm getting shaky, for letting me come back, if you will. I did graduate from Indio High School, and so I'm really proud to be an assistant principal. And in the room, for example, there's Margot McCormick, who has been a mentor since I worked in state and federal programs. At Indio High School, I had another wonderful mentor, Mr. Pete Estep, who always gave me wonderful feedback as an instructional coach. And so I'm just really excited to be able to come back. I feel like I'm home, even though I've been there for 10 years. It's just a great opportunity to serve my high school in this capacity. So thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 12, information. There are 2 informational items on tonight's agenda. Number 1, the Head Start program reports for May and June 2022. And number 2, Indio High School's Walter Clark Legal Group Mock Trial Club participation in the mock trial seminar at Harvard University in Cambridge, Massachusetts, November 4th through 7th, 2022. It's wonderful to see the Indio High School club going to Harvard, taking in some of the seminars, some of the classes, visiting the university. That's amazing. Moving on to item 13, staff conference items. Dr. May Volmer.
Yes, I believe we have the Summit High School ASB report this evening, so I'm going to turn that over to Olivia. Take it away.
Great. A video is going to be played shortly. Yeah. And it's a few pictures we've gotten from our on-campus recently.
You're a sky full of stars. I'm gonna give you my heart. 'Cause you're a sky full of stars. 'Cause you light up the park. I don't care, go on and tear me apart. I don't care if you do. 'Cause in the sky full of stars, I think I saw you. Cause you're a sky full of stars. I wanna die in your arms. Cause you get lighter the more it gets dark. I'm gonna give you my heart. I don't care, go on and tear me apart. I don't care if you do. 'Cause in
The reasons why I like this tool are it's a smaller student body, and with that, there's less people in the classes, which means the teachers can help you out more when you're in their classes. And I also like how you could how you could get more credits during the semester and the quarters. And I like how it's just all the people here are nice, and like there's no pressure of you being the new kid because there's always new kids.
The reason that I like Summit and what I think is good about it is that there's a lot of opportunities to get your credits up, and you can get more by playing sports as well. You can get 5 at least each, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and also the teachers are very nice here. That's it.
Okay, so the thing I like about Summit the most is the staff. The staff are always so nice and encouraging, and they help get your work done very easily. It's a really tight-knit community here, so I really like the staff. They're really nice.
Thank you so much for that. I do think you have some of your staff members in the audience. Would you like to introduce any of them?
I have Mr. Hollenbach right there, ASB teacher, and then Mr. Eastep, Dr. Strange and Dr. Ramirez, and then our FNL crew.
Nice, thank you so much. We appreciate so much the report and the chance to see the really great things going on at Summit High School, and we appreciate you being a student board member with us, and we have a little plaque for you that we'd like to give you this evening to thank you for your service.
Okay. Good evening, board members. The 2022 to 2023 school year is off to a great start for us. This year, we begin the school year full-time for the first time since 2022. The Summit staff continues to be focused on our students' successes and encouraging them to complete their classes, recover their credits, and to graduate. Our staff believes that positive student-teacher relationships are a strong factor in the students' academic success. Summit school-wide goals are to increase academic achievement, increase graduation rate, and college and career readiness, and to create a welcoming school climate and increase student involvement. To this end, the school's MTSS team is rolling out our Pride Slip recognition plan to the students who represent our school culture. We show our school pride by being positive and respectful, showing integrity, and that we are determined and engaged. Last year, Summit instituted a new school schedule. Our transition from a self-paced semester system to an accelerated 4-quarter system has been successful. This system allows students to earn up to 100 credits in a school year at an accelerated pace. A majority of the students have taken advantage of this system. There appears to be a greater sense of urgency, and the students are completing a lot more of the work assigned than before. The ASB at Summit High School is planning activities for the student body. This includes lunchtime activities, Spirit Week, blood drives, costume contests, and trying to raise funds with its student store. We have a student who is organizing a drama club. We are actively recruiting for our esports club and members for our Battle of the Books team. One of our teachers is also looking to start a school surf club when the surf parks are completed. Since the last ASB Summit report, we have a few new members to our staff. We welcome a new security guard, Fred Leager, new counselors, Alice Peterson and Alexa Christmas, and new office staff members, Lila Castillo and Lavana Mora. Looking forward, we are prepared to our WASC accreditation evaluation. The Summit staff continues to work towards improving our program, our students' educational experience, our culture, and our school-wide goals. Thank you for your time and attention tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. Moving on to item 14, public hearing. We will open the podium at this time to anyone that would like to speak on public hearing number 01/2022-2023, public textbook and instructional materials compliance for fiscal year 2022 to 2023 at 7:40. Okay. Seeing none, I will close the public hearing at 7:41 p.m. Item 15, board and superintendent comments. Ms. Key, do you have any comments?
I have no comments at this time.
Thank you. Ms. Pierce?
Well, I was just really happy to see all the recognition for the cheer team and their great academics and being recognized in Riverside County. Also, the PBIS, the successes of the schools that participated in that and the great things that it's doing with kids to keep them safe and motivated and behaving correctly. I want to thank Olivia as a Summit High School board member for her great presentation tonight and her great outlook in ASB and just her energy that she puts out there and the pride that they have in their school. I've visited there a couple of times, and it's just a really, really welcoming, family-oriented school, and it's really great to see the kids that are improving and getting caught up and really achieving their goals there. And I also want to welcome all the new employees to Desert Sands as well, especially my friend who left, Gabe Gutierrez, as AP at Indio High School. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Porras?
Well, you pretty much said everything I was going to say, so ditto. But I also just wanted to acknowledge again Agent Grant and Bautista for their life-saving efforts for one of our students. That's amazing. So anyway, I just wanted to acknowledge that. And congratulations to all the new, not new hires, but new positions for our new principals or of assistant principals. And I just wanted to say that it's great to see Jessie Reese at Indio High School. She's a hometown girl like me. She went through all the Desert Sands, whatever, from elementary to junior high and high school. So I'm a Raja also, so that's pretty awesome. And anyway, I just wanted to say that we went to the Trek, went to Oliphant and DRA in Shadow Hills, and had our second coffee with Kelly for the community. It was great. We had a really good turnout, so that was really nice to talk to the community and let everybody know what's going on with our schools. So that's all. Thanks.
Thank you. Superintendent Dr. Mae Vollmer?
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to share, last week, President Conover, myself, and Cabinet hosted an orientation session for all the candidates that are running for the Board of Education for the vacant seats. And all of the candidates showed up, and I think we had a very successful orientation time, and just wanted to publicly thank all the candidates for their desire to participate in the process here in Desert Sands and potentially serve as a board member in the future. So thank you.
Thank you. I do want to recognize everybody's hard work, all the schools that won accolades, all the students with their academic achievements. Welcome to the new or recently promoted employees. I see that we are filling quite a bit of the mental health position, so it's exciting to see that. Thank you. And moving on to item number 16, public comment on open session items. I have a statement to read before I open up public comments. Ed Code 7054, prohibiting political statements at board meetings. Pursuant to Education Code 7054, the district is prohibited from expending any resources directly or indirectly to urge to support or defeat of any ballot measure or candidate for elective office, including candidates for the Board of Education. This means that the district must ensure no funds, supplies, equipment, monetary expenses, or manpower are used or expended for political purposes. These rules are applied equally upon any and all candidates and incumbents. Accordingly, Since holding a board meeting involves district resources for staff, utilities, etc., public comment at a board meeting shall not include any statement that may reasonably be construed as urging the support or defeat of any candidate for election or any ballot measure. Okay, Ms. Porras, can you please read the online comments?
Board meeting online public comments, September 20th, 2022. Yipsy de Armas. We should go back to school after September 5th. Days in June are more tolerable than days in mid-August here in the desert. It is obvious that the school year requires a certain amount of days, and we have to finish school in mid-June instead of beginning of June if starting after Labor Day. However, we will go back without excessive heat. Excessive heat keeps children unhappy at school because most of the time they have to be inside their classrooms for too long without recess and outdoor playtime. Outdoor playing, learning is fundamental basic right all children must have. Luis Miguel Cruz. Kids and teachers should start school after Labor Day each year at DSUSD. Excessive heat does not allow kids to enjoy the time outside during recess. For this reason, they feel grumpy and unhappy until weather allows them to enjoy the so important right to learn and grow during recess time at each school here in the desert. Jamie Vasai. I would like to comment on the school year starting 8/16 of this year. As I understand, this change was created in part for AP students and for graduating seniors. Our district currently lacks the infrastructure to support this change. Our schools were not built to support children eating lunch and or recess during 105 or 110 plus temperatures. The lack of buildings able to accommodate this change and keep our kids cool during these temperatures leads to children not being able to play during recess and eating lunch in the heat. Children are not eating their lunches. I know. I personally could not eat lunch in 105-degree heat. For comparison, June of this year had 9 days over 105, and August had 16 days over 105. June is factually a cooler month in the desert. Can we find ways to accommodate what is best for the majority of DSUSD students and not the few? There are also grants available for shade sales from the American Academy of Dermatology and other sources for uncovered areas. Let's work together to find ways to make our children more comfortable in the heat immediately, as well as planning for future changes prior to their implementation. That is all.
Thank you. Okay, communications from the floor. In accordance with bylaws of the board 9323, time is reserved for oral communications by members of the Board of Education or by citizens present. Citizens wishing to be heard on agenda items, regular or special meetings, and/or non-agenda items within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board, regular meetings only, shall have a 3-minute limit. In accordance with the law, the board cannot take action on any item not appearing on the agenda as indicated in bylaws of the board 9323.2. First is Catherine Silvera.
Good afternoon. I'm usually here up here supporting our public school system, our Valley schools, and our students. Today, though, I'm putting on my parent hat as well. 2 other parents have asked me to speak about this issue. I'm also in a unique position to be an educator and a parent, so I experience both sides of this. First, I understand that speech pathologist jobs are super hard to fill. We need so many, and there's literally just not enough applying or graduating. This has been an ongoing issue for several years. Last year, our school site, SLP, moved to a private practice due to an overworkload. My son was in the middle of that evaluation process, already observed, and we just needed that initial IEP meeting. This employment vacancy caused a long delay in his speech services to all of the Ford students. When services finally restarted, it was virtual and a company based in Atlanta, and I've been up here before explaining why long-distance SLP services are problematic for parents and teachers. I can email that if you need more information. It took from October to April to get my son started on his speech services. However, after that, it was still held at irregular times, and minutes were never fulfilled. He had under 2 months of SLP services before summer. This year, our site finally got our one virtual plus, one in-person. The virtual SLP caseload already started. The in-person SLP caseload has not started, which includes my son and my 2 contacts. This is due to a delay in hiring, board approval, and then we needed a California certification paperwork for that SLP. The anticipated start date is next week with the assumption that services will start in October. The best case scenario plan will mean that services won't start for a good chunk of students until possibly week 9 of our school, affecting my son and also many others at our school site. And I'm assuming this is not a unique position in our district. We as a district had all summer to anticipate this. We could have planned ahead to make sure all of our students had services while we wait for the hiring process. And as a parent and educator, I know as a district, we can strive to do better. Thank you for your time for listening.
Thank you. Next is Dan Ball.
Good evening. My name is Dan Ball. My daughter attends Palm Desert High School. Before I begin tonight, everybody in the room, I think, knows what a man and a woman is. I hope so. We're all adults here. I'm here this evening to discuss the health of our children, specifically the mental health of our kids. You know, it's tough being a teenager these days. I would say more so than when we were kids, right, board? Think about it. We were in school, they're in school, you worry about, how do I look today? Will my peers accept me? Is my acne breaking out? Will I get bullied? Can I make the grade? Will I make my parents proud? Then you add on top of it all the noise on social media. It's destructive for kids today. So now we have something else to worry about. And that's why I'm here. Why on earth would you want to pile on any more stress to our teenagers' lives, especially considering what happened during COVID and how this body ignored pleas from these parents when it came out to handle the lockdowns and mandates? Let's review the damage done to our kids, and I'll be quoting stats here, so please take notes. New York Times headline reads, "The pandemic erased 2 decades of progress in math and reading. Student scores fell in both areas to the lowest in 31 years. Then there's a study by Brown University that shows young children's speech and cognitive learning skills have dropped at least 23%. A study by the McKinsey Group shows the number of high school dropouts increased over 30%. Let's not forget the number of suicides in teens, 15 to 19, increased by 50% during the lockdowns. I could go on, but I think you get my point. You and other school boards in this country allowed the 2 years of lockdowns to continue to do harm to our children. Now you want to add insult to injury by once again playing politics with our children's education and mental health. And that's why I'm here. Because why in the hell are girls allowed in the boys' room and a tampon dispensing machine allowed in the boys' bathrooms? That's why I'm here. Obviously, this board approved these things to be mounted, which leads me to my question. I know you can't respond. Why? Why would you put a tampon dispenser in the boys' bathroom? Why would you allow boys in the girls' bathrooms where I'm hearing reports that the girls, when a boy comes in, hide in the bathroom stalls till the boy leaves? My daughter's one of them. So I'd like to know why you did that. Because the last time I checked, God created 2 genders, a man and a woman. For the non-believers in the audience, science follows what I believe. Why do archaeologists, when they dig up bones thousands of years old, say that was a man or a woman? So let's look at the ridiculous move you guys have made to cater to the transgender community, which I'm on the record, not transphobic. Don't hate trans people. If you're an adult, you want to take puberty blockers, cut your breasts off, cut your penis, do whatever you'd like to do, and you're an adult, do it. It's America. That's great if you're an adult. But this BS has no place in the classroom. As educators, your job is to teach curriculum, that's it. Not get involved with social and political discussions and disagreements. But we know you've allowed these woke teachers to infiltrate the district and spew their ideology, and it must end. I leave you with this. A New York Post reports, a study conducted by a professor from Brown University found over 40% of transgenders who were surveyed said that their gender dysphoria is caused by at least 1 to 3 mental illnesses. So you're making decisions for all of our kids because of a small group of people who have mental issues. Either you did it because you felt bad or you did it because you were virtue signaling. Either way, we kindly request you to get back to the the job of educating our kids through curriculum and textbooks. Stop discussing things that are our job. How about you combat real issues like drug use on campus? That's skyrocketing. Teen pregnancy, gangs. These are real issues we want you to take note of and not defy God. Man, woman, two genders, that's it. Period. Thank you.
Okay, next person is Christina, and I'm not trying to pronounce the last name.
Good evening. My name is Christina Majerikosh. I'm here tonight to speak about the gender agenda that's continuously being pushed in our children here in our district, namely about the tampon machines. We found out about this through the children who posted it on social media, and as to be expected, we were confused. Now, here's the million-dollar question. Why? Why would a boy's bathroom need a tampon machine? This also brings me to another question. Who and why would anyone agree to allocate school funds for something so absolutely unnecessary? While school funds are tight for sports, art, music, and programs are getting cut constantly, why would we spend significant amounts of money on something so unnecessary? I personally have donated my time, tens of thousands of dollars in the last 10 years, fundraised until I was blue in the face to give my son a wonderful school experience, yet somehow we have money to put tampon machines in every single DSUSD bathroom. It just doesn't make sense. Putting all of this money that caters to less than 1% of the world's population. No room for arts, but we've got money for that, right? Boys don't have periods. You know this. I know this. We all know this. It's science. Now we have to worry what kids are gonna do with these tampons and maxi pads. Are girls gonna be allowed in the boys' bathroom? Are boys gonna be allowed in the girls' bathroom? It starts with a tampon dispenser. Where do we draw the line? Then it moves to, you know, boys in the girls' locker rooms. Are we not worried about their safety, about the girls' comforts, about the boys' comforts? The comforts of children. We need these dispensers removed from the boys' bathrooms, and they should never, ever, ever come back. This isn't about acceptance. It's not the issue about that. This is about living in the land of make-believe, putting our children's comfort and safety at risk, and trying to push things on children that is not the school's job. Let them figure it out on their own like we all did. Let their parents help them. We don't know the long-term effects, the short-term effects. These are things to consider. Are boys going to start putting tampons up their butts? I won't even tell you the stuff that I found on Google when I looked it up. When I was growing up, someone told me that if someone told me that there was going to be like tampon dispensers in the boys' bathroom, I would have looked at them and told them they were straight crazy. You know, I would hear politicians and people say they're coming for your children. And I used to think this was a very far right, super extreme right ideology. But as I stand here in front of you, September 20th, 2022, I have to say that sadly have to say that they're right. You know, I want you to please start listening to us parents. You know, without us, without our children, you don't have the funding. Thank you.
Next is John Parker.
Well, at least I don't have to talk about tampons. This might be old news to you, I don't know, but it's worth repeating and also making a comment on. This is a article that was in the Daily Signal, January of this year. High school lesson plans tell California students they are inherently privileged if male, cisgender, white, or Christian. For decades, there's been a concerted effort to eliminate God from the public school and public square. The irony is the message of the Bible is one of freedom, liberty, and justice. There is nothing more fundamental to understanding the purpose and meaning of life than the message of reconciliation to the living God through his sacrifice so that we may experience a personal relationship with the author of life itself. The country was founded on the principle of out of many one. Rather than divide the races and genders, the purpose is to bring people together as one. Together we thrive, divided we fall. The reason I'm standing here is out of hope that we can restore this country and even make it even more successful as one people. It's time to return to our first principles, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And by the way, this was Desert Sands Unified. When the Daily Signal asked for comment and clarification about the lesson, DSUSD spokesperson Mary Perry said the district is taking corrective action over the ideological lecture material that tell high school students they are inherently privileged if they are Christian, straight, or male. The graphics used in this lesson include, if you can use public bathrooms without stairs, fears, or anxiety, you have cisgender privilege. Another graphic says, if while growing up, college was an expectation of you, not a lofty dream, you have class privilege. Another, if you can expect time off from work to celebrate your religious holidays, you have Christian privilege. And not to be outdone, if you're confident that the police exist to protect you, you have white male privilege. The spokesperson continued, the lesson is not in alignment with the district adopted curriculum. Actions are being taken to rectify the situation. If it's true, throughout human history, there have been privileged people and groups, whether it's King, I'm going to run out of time. Needless to say, what they're talking about, the privilege, all of this stuff, we need to get back to first principles. We
Thank
really
you.
do.
Next is Faith Broque.
Hi. Thank you for this opportunity. I've never done this before, so just bear with me. My name is Faith Roche, and I'm here. My daughter goes to Palm Desert High School, and I'm here about the tampon dispensers in the boys' bathroom. I really don't understand, and I want to understand why they're there. The boys don't have periods. It's science. No one can say that that's not true. Otherwise, it's a reality is just thrown out the window. We know boys don't have periods. Everybody understands that. There's no need to confuse our kids more and harm them more from the shutdown for 2 years. I know what it's done to my child, and I hope she can recover from it. We're doing the best we can, but the last 2 years has done a lot of damage to her, and to start having this kind of stuff put in the schools, I want to have faith in the schools that they'll make right choices and do good things for our children, and I want to understand why the decision was made to put tampons in the boys' bathroom, and what's next? Are boys going to go in the girls' bathroom? Are boys going to go in the boys' bathroom? I mean, it's a slippery slope, and I'm not really sure the reasoning for it. And I ask you to please just listen to the parents. You did it for 2 years. No one listened about the mask. Now we hear about all the harm that it's done, the speech therapy that it's hurt the kids, the suicides, the drugs, everything else. It's done so much damage. Just stop. No more hurting these children. They're our future. And I don't want to see what's happened to them continue to happen with these decisions like this. We already know enough that's going on with all the books that are out there talking about sex and over-sexualizing our children. It's enough. I'm so sick of it, and I'm so tired of it, and it breaks my heart that anyone can keep doing this to our children. We need to protect them, and that's your job. We can't do it, but we're here, and you're not listening to us. Please, just stop it and take the tampon dispensers out of there, the freaking boys' bathroom. It's just insanity, and it needs to stop. Thank you.
Next is Chase Coughlin.
Hi, I was going to talk about the tampon dispense, but I think that's been covered enough tonight. I want to talk about with the critical race theory and how you're trying to rewrite history. Things like music, art, television, that can be manipulated. History, it's facts. It's a fact that the only people that have a period are women. The only person who gets a boner is a man. Other facts, slavery is not an American thing. It came from the Slavs because they were enslaved mostly. And you can't make up history. If you want to make up things, go watch TV. Go watch reality TV. They make stuff there up all the time. Go watch CNN. But if you want it, you have to tell the truth when it comes to history. History is not something you can debate whether this happened or not. We have data that things happen. We have data that the Declaration of Independence was signed July 4th, 1776, and we have data that our kids are becoming dumber and dumber by the day. Look at the videos on TikTok. Where's the Queen of England from? Brazil. Our kids are getting really dumb, and it's your fault. Teaching them mindless garbage about how many genders there are and how you can pick your pronouns. But suicide's up, teen pregnancy, drug abuse, and the math and reading scores and science are in the toilet. That really makes sense to me because you have destroyed what was going good. You decided to lock the schools down for over 2 years because Newsom said, I will give you millions, and you chose money over over these children's education and mine as well. You kicked me out of school because you didn't like what I was saying, and you made up the mask mandate for me. It was completely made up. But anything else you come up with, maybe with the tampon dispenser, what's next? Are they going to allow boys to go into the girls' bathroom because they say they identify as it? If so, that is disgusting. My stepsister was human trafficked. I do not want my friends who are girls to worry about some perv going into the bathroom and dealing with them getting harassed by them. Dan said his daughter has to hide from these people. If this is okay with you, but a kid coming in without a mask on, oh my God, we must kick him out, there's something seriously wrong in your head to seriously think that all this is going to go well. And if you think this is going to go in your favor, it's not. The midterms are coming up, and that school board recall you're ignoring, you should pay attention to that instead of the state and Senate races, because this is more important. This is your children, not the government.
Next, Dory O'Toole. Dory O'Toole.
Good evening. I came here tonight to illuminate and thank Kenny Snell, who is an educator at your school, who not only educates your students. Got it? Okay, I'm here to talk about Kenny Snell and to thank him for educating not only the students, but people like myself who have the privilege of reading what he writes, which is quite impressive. And he wrote an article that was in Substack that, to my horror, brings me here tonight, and it has to do with CRT and DEI or DIE, whoever you all want to identify it as. And most specifically, it has to do with the Master Development and Services Agreement with Battelle for Kids that has been approved by this board. I ask you this question: are you here to indoctrinate or are you here to educate? You can't have both. And it clearly seems that there's indoctrination going on. I read the article and I just sat there in disbelief of quotes that came out of the Desert Sands Unified School District website. And it states, related to the Battelle for Kids is a nonprofit organization that believes education is a critical foundation for cultivating, promoting, and accelerating equity and inclusion for society. Battelle for Kids intentionally prioritizes diversity, equality, and inclusion in all aspects of the system, the school system, and your partners. Who are they? What is the school system, and who exactly are your partners? I'm just curious. According to the statement of work, Battelle for Kids will receive $33,000 to provide administration to the Desert Sands Unified School District, deliverable in the areas of the portrait of a graduate design process. I would like to read you the definition of a word salad. A word salad, or schizophasia, is a confused and unintelligible mixture of seemingly random words and phrases, most often used to describe a symptom of neurological or mental disorder. The term schizophrenia is used in particular to describe confused language that may be evident in schizophrenia. The word may or may not be grammatically correct, but they are semantically confused to the point that the listener cannot extract any meaning from them. The description in this article, which I implore all of you to look at, describes what Battelle for Kids will do for the students of Desert Sands Unified School District. I don't have enough time to read the word salad, but once again, I implore you to. And can someone please tell me what 21st learning means exactly? Word salad again. Battelle for Kids is also a nonprofit. No, they spent $1,170,000 on lobbying and were ranked 630 in spending of 8,194 lobbying groups. Is this political? Is it indoctrination? It sure is an education. Thank you.
Okay, next is Elena Nishi. Next, Elena Nishi.
Good evening. I recently contacted the district about volunteer on-campus policy. Unvaccinated individuals were subject to weekly COVID testing, asymptomatic or not. Even though it is still not reflected on the district website, the policy was revised to end this requirement based on the governor's order as of September 17. So I wanted to express my appreciation of your willingness to communicate with me on this matter, especially Mr. Joseph Hyde, the assistant superintendent. There are many more issues that concern parents in today's politicized education and not so safe school environment. Maybe we can delay the start of a school year, or improve the food quality, or remove radical gender deconstructing curriculum and inappropriate sex education. Let's treat kids as they are, without sexualizing them, just kids. They're not cats, they're not dogs, they don't have 155 personalities and genders and identities, they're just kids. Last year was not a happy year for both sides of the table. There was a lot of frustration and upset caused by certain district policies and the way our board handled parental concerns. It made many families leave the district. I really hope things change. Please hear the parents, acknowledge and address our concerns, and most importantly, partner with us so we can work together and do what's best for our children. Thank you.
Next is Dale Wiseman.
Can I change my comments to the agenda item 19? I feel like I'm interrupting. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Because that's what I want to speak on. I'll come back on agenda item 19.
I didn't hear.
He's going to come back at agenda item 19, but doesn't he need to make it now?
Oh, so you have to make your comment now. Yeah.
All right, let me do that then. So it's cooled down a little bit, right? The weather has cooled down a little bit. I lived in the desert for 25 years. And we always look forward to this time of the year where the sky's a little bluer and you can feel the breeze. Turn around from that hot, humid east breeze we get to that dry, Pacific breeze we get, and the days soften, and we settle into the school year, right? And I want the board to know that's how it feels this year. We have a different superintendent. We have a different assistant superintendent. This is a good cabinet that are really addressing the challenges. Doesn't mean that we don't have issues and problems, but we are really able to work together, and it feels a lot better. It just feels different, and it feels better. And I don't really know any way to kind of explain that to the board other than just to say that it just feels like the kind of day we had today and yesterday in comparison to the summer, right? It just feels better. And we have we have an MOU and obviously the contract up tonight, asking you to approve those. But really, it's a result of just months and months of work before those pieces of paper actually get here to resolve really difficult, sticky issues and to move forward and to deal with this really difficult labor crisis out there, just to be able to get people hired, just get them into the spots and get them out in the schools serving students. And I want to be clear about that. All students, every student that we have, pushing what, 28,000, 26,000 students, almost 1,400 classified employees at this point. This is a big district with lots of big issues and problems and lots of different kinds of kids out there. So I want to support the board in the efforts to teach all students. As a credentialed teacher myself, that is always a challenge. So thank you for that, and I hope that we can continue to work together with this new administration and cabinet. And it's been, I didn't leave you out, Jordan, by the way, and it's been great to work with everyone and Jordan on some of the payroll issues that we've had and CalPERS and so on. But you can just feel it just feels different, and I want you guys to know that I've been here almost 20 years now as representing classified employees, and this is a good cycle that we're starting to see, I think, and getting past some of the monetary issues that we've had in the past and some of the just deep structural problems and issues with money. So it's nice to see that we're able to deliver some of those services that we haven't been able to do in the past. So thank you very much for all that you do. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Kenny Snell.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Did I leave anybody out? Okay. So I published an article this morning on Battelle for Kids, which you passed unanimously last meeting. But I chose not to speak of that since public records show that you instruct district personnel to spy on me. I assume that you've already read that. In fact, public records show that when I wrote a thing on Solution Tree, which was a very CRT-laden consultant that you've hired, you learned about that you paid them nearly $1 million each from me the day after you passed that. So today I'm going to talk to you, thank you, Dory, by the way, for covering that Battelle for Kids. The diversity, equity, and inclusion, we all know that's CRT. That's just a strand. And in fact, if you read that article, which I'm sure you have, you've seen the primary sources where they state that. In fact, they say equity, diversity and inclusion is even better, DEI, I'm sorry, is even better than CRT because it includes gender. So I'm specifically addressing your agenda item 18.3 tonight on the Catalyst Education Consulting. It's another one. I barely had a chance to scrape the surface, but right away, it's already full of DEI. But they say it's better because it includes gender. I don't know if you know just how much you're sinking into just ridiculousness. If you haven't heard of the theater of absurd, you should go look it up because you're living it. Last weekend, there was a conference in education. They sent out a text to all the men to not use the urinals because it was triggering the women who were pretending to be men using the men's bathroom. I mean, really, you guys, you should go out and look at detransition teens and their horror stories that they have to tell. Because once they have that surgery, they're abandoned, and it's just horrible. You need to read through that. I'd like to make one point on the public. The public, we have 3 board seats open. Public, when you talk to these board members, ask them questions. Ask them, why do they support this CRT? I'm old enough to remember when just a year ago I broke down the ethnic studies for you and showed you all the ways it was CRT, and you adamantly, steadfastly said, we have no CRT in this district. I challenge you to say that again. Tell us, because it'll just open you up to ridicule. So ask these board members that are running why they support the CRT. Ask them why they think the district should change children's gender outside of the parents' knowledge. And by the way, congratulations for getting rid of Trevor Project. That was a good call. Although it should never have been there.
Your time is up now. Thank you. Your time is up. Okay, moving on. Moving on to item 17. Item 17, general functions. Business services, there's only one item. Is there a motion to approve award contract RFQ/P number 222301 to Mesa Energy Systems Incorporated, doing business as MCOR Services Mesa Energy?
So moved, Linda Porras.
Is there a second?
Second, Tricia Pierce.
It has been moved and seconded to award this contract to Mesa Energy Systems Incorporated, doing business as MCOR Services Mesa Energy. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, calls for the question. Preferential vote?
Aye.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? This motion carries with one preferential vote. Item 18, General Functions Educational Services. Item 18.1 is a resolution. Resolution number 15/2022-2023, pupil textbook and instructional materials compliance for fiscal year 22-23. Is there a motion to approve to adopt resolution number 15? Is there a second?
Second, Tricia Pierce.
It has been moved and seconded to approve to adopt resolution number 15. Is there any discussion? As this is a resolution, it calls for a roll call vote. Preferential vote?
Aye.
Ms. Pierce?
Aye.
Ms. Porras? And I vote aye. This motion carries with one preferential vote. There are two remaining items in General Functions Educational Services. Is there a motion to take items 18.2 and 18.3 as a group or individually?
Motion to take them as a group.
Is there a second?
Second, that Olivia Key.
It has been moved and seconded to take items 18.2 and 18.3 as a group. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, calls for the question. Preferential vote?
Aye.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? This motion carries with one preferential vote. Item 19, General Functions Personnel Services. There are two items in General Functions Personnel Services. Is there a motion to take both as a group or individually?
Take them as a group.
Is there a second? It has been moved and seconded to take these items as a group. As these items deal with personnel issues, our student board member will not be voting. Is there any discussion? I just want to say it is good to see a tentative agreement with CSEA and the settlement agreement with for the applied behavior assistance as well. Any other comments or discussion? Hearing none, calls for the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? This motion carries. Item 20, General Function Student Support Services. There are none. Item 21, General Function Superintendent. There is only one item, and as it pertains to personnel, our student board member will not be voting. Is there a motion to approve the nomination of a representative for the County Committee on School District Organization for voting delegate? I move that we nominate Linda Porras as representative for the County Committee on School District Organization for voting delegate. Is there a second?
Second, Tricia Pierce.
It has been moved and seconded to nominate Linda Porras. Is there any discussion? I think you'll do a good job. Hearing none, calls for the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? This motion carries. Item 22, Consent Item Student Matters. Superintendent Dr. May Vollmer.
Yes, thank you. Listed under closed session, item 3.1, Tonight in closed session, the board took action to approve the following student matter: reinstatement student case number 21/22-05 on a motion made by Linda Porras and seconded by Patricia Pierce. It carried 3-0. The board accepted the recommendation of the reinstatement.
Thank you. Moving on to item 23, consent items, business services. There are 6 items in consent items, business services. Is there a motion to take items 23.1 to 23.6 as a group or individually?
As a group, Olivia Key.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Seconded by Tricia Pierce.
It has been moved and seconded to take items 23.1 through 23.6 as a group. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, calls for the question. Preferential vote? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? This motion carries with 1 preferential vote. Moving on to item 24, consent items, educational services. There are 23 items in
Marcus has been
consent
busy.
items, educational services. Is there a motion to take items 24.1 through 24.23 as a group or individually?
A motion to take them as a group.
Is there a second? It has been moved and seconded to take items 24.1 through 24.23 as a group. Is there any discussion?
I'm just really happy to see all these partnerships with different entities in the desert here to give our students the enrichment for the different programs at the schools. It's really great to see.
I have to agree with that. It's pretty good partnerships there, especially the archery.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Any further comments or discussion? Hearing none, calls for the question. Preferential vote?
Aye.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? This motion carries with 1 preferential vote. Moving on, item 25, personnel services. There are none. Item 26, consent items, student support services. There are 4 items in consent items, student support services. Is there a motion to take items 26.1 through 26.4 as a group or individually? Is there a second?
Second that, Olivia Key.
It has been moved and seconded to take these as a group. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, calls for the question. Although preferential vote?
Aye.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? This motion carries with 1 preferential vote. Moving on, item 27, consent items, superintendent. There are none. Moving on to item 28, personnel action certificated. As this item deals with personnel, our student board member will not be voting. Is there a motion to approve item 28.1, certificated personnel? Well, hang on. Dr. Hyde, I forgot. Do you have any items?
Yes, I do have a few blind appointment recommendations.
Sorry, yes.
That's quite all right. First off, I'd like to start off with 28.1, certificated personnel, agenda items 14 through 17 on page 2. We're pleased to recommend the appointment of Meredith Greenwood to the position of assistant principal at Desert Ridge Academy. Item 15, we're also pleased to recommend the appointment of James Harper to the position of assistant principal at Glen Middle School. Item 16, we're also pleased to recommend the appointment of Mandy Wiltrout to the position of assistant principal at Palm Desert High School. And last but certainly not least, we are pleased and excited to recommend the appointment of Dr. Rudy Wilson to the position of Resolution and Compliance Officer in the Personnel Services Division.
All right, is there a motion to approve item 28.1, certificated personnel? Is there a second?
Second, Tricia Pierce.
It has been moved and seconded to approve item 28.1, certificated personnel. Is there any discussion? I am, but I'm kind of sad as well. I'm kind of sad about that. Okay. Any other comments or discussion? Were there any retirements?
Yes, there was a retirement. Constance Shapter at Dr. Carrion Academy is retiring from the district after 14 years of service.
Awesome. Okay, any other comments? No? Okay, hearing none, calls for the question. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? This motion carries. Moving on to item 29, personnel actions classified. Dr. Hyde, do you have any items?
I do. I have a few blind appointment recommendations. And again, this is under 29.1 classified personnel, agenda items 12 through 14 on page 2. Personnel Services and the superintendent are pleased to recommend the appointment of Kayla Bonafide to the position of mental health therapist. We're also pleased to recommend the appointment of Carlos Montiel to the position of site manager, nutrition services. And finally, item 15, we are pleased to recommend the appointment of Javier Duenas to the position of supervisor of custodial services.
And is there any retirements? No? Okay. As this item deals with personnel, our student board member will not be voting. Is there a motion to approve items 29.1 classified personnel?
Move, Tricia Pierce.
Is there a second? It has been moved and seconded to approve item 29.1 classified personnel. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, calls for the question. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? This motion carries. Item 30, call out of closed session action. Superintendent Dr. May Ballmer.
Yes, we had 2 items that I'll be calling out. So listed under closed session 3.2, tonight in closed session, the board took action to approve the general release and settlement agreement SSS number 04/2022-2023 on a motion made by Linda Porras, seconded by Patricia Pierce, and the motion carried 3-0. Listed under closed session 3.2, tonight in closed session, the board took action to approve general release and settle agreement SSS number 5/2022-2023 on a motion made by Linda Porras, seconded by Patricia Pierce, and the motion carried 3-0.
Thank you. Item 31, suggestions for future agendas that receive at least 3 votes. Ms. Key, do you have any? Do you have any suggestions for future agenda items? No. Ms. Pierce?
I have none.
Ms. Porras? And I have none. Item 32, announcements. The next regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Education is October 11th, 2022 in the District Education Center Boardroom, 47950 Dune Palms Road, La Quinta, California. Item 33, reconvene to closed session if needed. There is no need to reconvene to closed session. Item 34, adjournment. This meeting is adjourned at 8:32 p.m. Thank you, everybody, for being here.